of the challenges that I had is, so Story Hive is specifically for Alberta or BC, and so I purposely don't set where the location is, and I think we just assume certain things because we're Alberta, but even the dialect that I'm using of Cree is actually our Cree and not the local Cree. So if you don't know anything about the Cree language in general, there's actually 9 different dialects, and so my mother and I are from Hudson Bay, James Bay, and so the dialect there's 3 dialects actually. There's Inu, Ililu, Iyo Ishche. So there are 3 dialects in the James Bay Cree area, and so
you know they would understand it.
Yeah, so they
Especially
might understand
Ontario.
it a little bit better, because even when I was doing it here, I didn't have access to people at the time, and I really didn't have time to go out and do it. Like, there's a lot of website and things like that I could have gone to, but again, I was just so under like a deadline for so many things that I just didn't have time to do all these things. So I was like, okay, well, you know what, I'm just going to use what I know. So, and I have access to my mother, whose second language is English. She didn't learn English until she was 7. So yeah, so I was like, okay, this is what I want to say. How would I say it? And so she was the person who I got everything from and how I wanted to say it. And I think what makes it even great is that there's a line one of the characters says, and he has to say it in Cree, and we did practice, you know, because everything was so fast paced, we had to practice the day of how to say this. I did run it over the first day, and we filmed his scenes the next day, so he did have a day to try to practice it, but we had very short timelines to teach him how to say this. So he did practice a little bit, and when he did say it, he didn't say it that great, but I think that's what sells it even more, is because it's not his language. He's selling it even more, and he's not pronouncing it right. But you could still get the gist of what he's trying to say. And even some of the words that we use, again, aren't, I guess, native to this dialect in this area. But, you know, being from Ontario, and I say being from Ontario because as a James Bay Cree, I'm still from Ontario. I am a member of a Ontario Reserve, but I've never been there. I've never visited. The farthest I've ever gone is Moosonee. I haven't actually gone to my own reserve, just because it's really isolated and really expensive to get there. And I was actually born and raised in Edmonton, Alberta. So knowing that, and I think just from us interacting with other people who are also from Ontario, we know that we all move a lot. So even though you're technically from an area, you still use the same dialect that you were raised with.
Yeah.
So do you think people from Alberta will understand the Cree that we used in the video?
Oh yeah, it'll be, you know, I'm pretty sure they'd understand that.
Well, we also have an English translation at the bottom, so they should understand. Yeah.
Yeah, they would know. At least it's close.